Hey everybody, and welcome to this week's edition of All Things Universal Orlando. Today we're going to be looking at the top 5 reasons you should be staying at Sapphire Falls Resort. I want to thank everybody for watching again. Sorry I didn't have a video last week, but I gave you 2 the week before. I just was anticipating a busy week, but we're going to get right back into it. This week we're going to be looking at, we're going to be going back to the resort reviews. I do have some people who've commented and asked for this, and so we're going to be doing that. But I've also had people comment and ask me about when are you going to do the top 5 things on the Islands of Adventure side. They're coming, and the reason you haven't had them yet is because I'm going back to Universal in September, and I want to wait until I've seen the queue at Hagrid's roller coaster and ridden the ride before I do a top 5 rides, having not ridden everything. And so there's that hang up. So we're waiting for September before I go to the island side. I do have a few more coming from the Universal Studios side that'll be coming possibly even next week. I don't know that I'm going to go back straight on with the resort reviews, but I may. We'll just have to see how that plays out. So let's get right to it. Number 5. The Caribbean Carnival Dinner Show. This is an excellent show. Now, I gotta be honest with you, this is not my favorite hotel, but a lot of people really love it. And it's one of those things I kind of see why when I did the research for the review. Initially, I was just thinking, man, it's expensive for a non-premier and you don't get the express pass when you stay there. And I mean, I've been there and I've seen the hotel and I've done most of the stuff there is to do there. And I just couldn't quite get it. And then I started to research it. And then I started to reflect on the times that I have been to this hotel, or resort, I should say. And it started to make sense to me. But number 5 is the Caribbean Carnival Dinner Show. It's a lively dinner celebration. They have a Caribbean a flair to it, kind of like the Royal Pacific does with the Wonton Luau. A little bit of a different theme, where that's kind of a Royal or a South Pacific feel. This is more of a Caribbean feel. And you have authentic food, song and dances that are inspired by the islands. I think they include the Bahamas, Cuba, Jamaica, Barbados, in that kind of area, Trinidad. And it's just very colorful, it's vibrant, like I said, it's just excellent food. And the ambiance and the atmosphere is really something that you get there and not really anything else. I compared it to the Wonton Luau, but it's very different. I mean, the Wonton Luau is a luau. This is different. This is more of a party feel. And I think they've captured that really well. It's only done on Fridays and it's pricey, but again, I covered this. If you didn't see the review on the Royal Pacific, go ahead and take a look at that, and I'll put a link for you right up here. But what I want you to get is that even though these things might seem pricey, if you were to pay for a dinner show, you're going to pay this amount. And this is a good one to do, and the food is excellent. It happens only on Fridays. It's going to cost, for every adult, $71 plus tax. Kids 3 to 9 are $36, and kids under 3 eat free. Right now, if you book this right now, I think they're having some kind of special that offers you you get 1 free kids meal with the purchase of an adult. And that's a pretty good gig. That's a $36 savings. So if you are staying there, look at booking that and doing this. It's pretty good. I like the Wonton Luau better, but that's because I like that hotel better, that resort better. The Royal Pacific, as you know, is my favorite. This is excellent though, and you shouldn't miss it if you can afford to do this. So this is the number 5 reason you should be staying at Sapphire Falls. Number 4. The 4th reason you should be staying at Loews Sapphire Falls Resort are the restaurants. Now, there's some really good restaurants here, but what's interesting, it's really not the high-end restaurant that I like that much. It's actually the lower tier stuff. Amatista Cookhouse is a good restaurant, but I think it ends there. I don't think it's anything better than good. And it's kind of a coastal-themed eatery that features an exhibition kitchen. And it's, again, Caribbean-infused theming with their foods that go there, and it's pretty good. There's a lot of seafood, and because of that, it's not high on my list, but even the other things are just okay. The pricing's pretty reasonable, and it should be reasonable at a non-premier resort. So you could get a burger starting at probably in that $15 range. Most of the entrees range from the mid-20s to the high 30s. And like I said, it's good. The best part about Amatista, I think, is actually the ambiance, the restaurant. It's a nice, pleasant, it's bright, it's inviting, and everything about that is really good. I just think the food is average, and I think I expect it to be a little better than that because it's not a cheap resort. It's not high-end, but it's not inexpensive either, and I just frankly would expect more from their high-end restaurant. The next restaurant they have is the Strongwater Tavern. This isn't really a restaurant as much as it is a bar or a watering hole, but they have some really neat things, some vintage rums. You have a rum specialist there. You have finger foods that are not typical. They just unique things, and again, a Caribbean-themed feel to this. But it's not exclusively finger foods. They have other things as well, and it's better. Probably made in the same kitchen. It's an interesting thing. I don't know how they do that, but it seems to me that the food here is better than you find at Amatista's. At least that's how it seems to me. Next would be the New Dutch Trading Company, and I think every one of Universal's resorts has a place like this. Kind of a sandwiches, grab-and-go kind of place. Good stuff, fresh coffee, pastries, a place you might want to go for breakfast before you head out to the water taxi, that kind of thing. Good stuff, nothing great, nothing special, but accessible, and a fair amount of quantity as well as quality. And then here, what I think they do better at this resort than any other resort is their poolside food, the Drhum Club Kantine. I'm going to read to you what they have written because I think it sums it up better than what I would say. It says it's nestled with lush grounds of the pool, which is a nice pool, no doubt about it. The Drhum Club Kantine offers sunseekers a delightful menu focusing on fresh seafood, burgers, sandwiches, nachos, taste-tempting tropical drinks. There's a fire pit area that's really pretty good. You have this island theme, like you have, it's similar to what you'd hear at Jimmy Buffett's Margaritaville, that steel drum feel, flavor, ambiance. It's just fun. It's a great pool, and it's probably maybe on the list here somewhere. You never know. You gotta keep watching to find out. It's a great pool, but it's the canteen that really makes it great. If you like to sit there by the water or in the water with your feet in the water and eat, you can do that. And I think they've done this better than any other resort they have there. Number 3, early park admission. Now, that might not seem like a big deal because you get that with every one of their resorts, but with this resort, it's actually a pretty good deal because it's not so far away and it's not so close that you can't take advantage of this. You can get into the Wizarding World of Harry Potter and Volcano Bay 1 hour before the park opens, and that is huge. It's one of the best benefits they have when you stay on site with Universal. Getting into the park an hour early changes your day. It truly does, especially if you don't have the Express Pass, which you don't get when you stay here. And that's why this is not higher rated. But you still get into the park early, and because you're only there with a limited number of people, you get to do a lot of things, and you certainly get to do the Harry Potter themed things, which are usually first on everybody's list. But even still, once that hour is up, you're usually first in line at the other attractions once the park officially opens. And there's tremendous value and tremendous benefit to that. So number 3 is the early park admission. That's the third reason you should be staying at Sapphire Falls. Number 2. This is a stunningly beautiful resort. From the stone turret in the lobby, the stairwell that's lined with stones, the inviting charm of the room. You're surrounded by textures everywhere. It's unique. There's nothing else that looks like it. You have the feel that you're in the islands. You also have the feel that you're in a really nice resort. The waterfalls that cascade outside as you're walking to get on the water taxi might be one of the best views that Universal offers, and the ambiance and the sound of that is frankly amazing. When you get around the beach area, the palm trees and the pool, you have again that Caribbean themed feel. It's tremendous ambiance. There's everything about this is great. It's just a gorgeous, gorgeous resort. And if you have the opportunity, walk around, go check out the conference room areas. The carpet is nice, the rooms are nice. Everything about this feels brand new, and it's not brand new. It's not old, it's one of the newer resorts, but it still feels like it's brand new. There's nothing about this that isn't stunningly beautiful. The architecture, everything when you're from the outside, from the inside, the lobby, it's an amazingly beautiful resort. And that's why beauty is the number 2 reason you should be staying at Sapphire Falls. Before I get to the number one, I don't have an honorable mention. I was going to put the pool there. It's a pretty good pool, but I don't think it's great, and I don't think it's really anything special. It's a great, nice resort pool and hang out there. I actually, like I said earlier, I like the restaurant that caters to the pool better than the pool itself. But before I get to the number one reason you should be staying at Sapphire Falls, I want to recount the top 5. Number 5 is the Caribbean Carnival dinner show. Great show, already told you about it, worth doing, a little pricey but not ridiculous, and the food is really good. Number 4, all of the restaurants. I think I listed them all, I'm pretty sure I mentioned them. Again, it's not Amatista, the high end, that I like the most, it's actually the others that I like better, but it provides something that's excellent for your stay there at Sapphire Falls. Number 3, early park admission. Take advantage of this. I know that every hotel offers it, but I think it benefits this one primarily because of its location. So take advantage of this. You're not too far away, and even if you're not close enough, take advantage and get to the park an hour early before everybody else and maximize your stay. Number 2, it's just a beautiful resort. It's absolutely stunning, gorgeous, whether you're outside or inside. There's really no fault in this resort. So here it is. Number 1. The number 1 reason you should be staying at Loews Sapphire Falls Resort: extreme value for premier quality. I went online to see what it would cost to book an average stay. A 4-night stay at this resort is $168 per night. Yes, you have taxes, and yes, you have to pay about $25, $30 to park. So take an Uber, or don't take a car. Avoid parking if you can, just to save yourself that money. But $168 for what I think is premier quality. The quality of this resort is every bit as good as Royal Pacific, which is my favorite. I think it's every bit as good as Hard Rock and Portofino. It's not maybe as posh as the other 3, but it's still good, and it's newer than all 3 of them, and you can tell that it's newer, and it's less money. So because of that, you still have the feel that you're staying in a premier resort without paying premier resort fees. $168 a night for 4 nights? That's pretty reasonable, and just about any moderately incomed family can probably afford that. You might have to save, you might have to scrimp a little bit in some other areas, but that's not unreasonable. That's a pretty standard hotel fare for a decent hotel, and this is better than decent. I think that all the things that this offers you gives it, like I said, that extreme value for premier quality. So that's the number 1 reason I think you should be staying at Sapphire Falls. It's just a great resort, but the best thing about it, you feel like you're in a premier resort, and you don't have to pay that kind of money. So hey, thanks for watching, thanks for subscribing, thanks for liking, and thanks for commenting. Remember, sharing is caring. Thanks for being a part of this. Thanks for helping me grow it. Please, please share this video. Tell your friends about this. Like and subscribe. Hit the bell notifications. And go bless somebody else today.